Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you my fourth project and my second 3D project for my Monster Bash Sweet Week, and I have recreated a project that's in the catalogue, and it's using these beautiful copper dotted treat bags. I've just filled mine with a ton of sweets, so you know, you can fill yours with whatever you like, and I have just used a random clip that I found on my desk, and the other one I'm going to be using is this one. So you can use whatever you like. You could use paper clips and decorate those, just anything that you have to hand really, but I just think these are really quite cute. Again, as you can see, I've used pretty much all of the sweet apart from the embossing folder, I think. But it is fabulous. Oh, and obviously the coffin boxes. But I just love it. And I think these treat bags as well, they're really sturdy. I mean, as you can see, I've got a fair few sweets in there. And they're just going to be great for trick-or-treating or for party bags, anything like that. The copper treat bags come in a pack of 10. They are food safe as well, so you could even put maybe a cupcake or something inside. But they are really handy and really useful. So I'm going to show you how I created this one. So as I said, you just simply need one of the copper treat bags, and then with your basic grey and your sponge brayer, we are going to get all dirty and messy. Well, maybe messy, not so much dirty. So I'm just going to roll it on my ink pad there, and then I'm simply going to go over my bag. Now, it doesn't matter whether you go in the one direction, whether you decide to go in another. It's entirely your choice whether you want to coat it really dark, whether you want to leave some shaded areas, whether you want it quite faint. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going across, as you can see, quite randomly, I guess, just trying to add a bit of colour where there's some patches. But of course, it's not going to be perfect because, let's be fair, shadows don't fall perfectly. They don't fall, you know, and spooky stuff's meant to be sort of patchy, isn't it, and a bit in between. So obviously I've already done one side, but you need to do both sides. And then I've just got some kitchen towel here, and I just literally went across. This is more to get the ink off the copper, and secondly to stop me getting the ink all over my hands, but it also just sort of blends it a little bit as well, which I think is quite nice. I mean, as you can see, there's hardly any come off on there anyway. So once you have your treat bag in that state, then obviously you want to decorate it. So the Monster Bash DSP is just fabulous. So I have a piece here that I cut randomly just to fit on top of the bag. My piece here is 4 inches by 5 inches, and then I screwed it up. Oh no, I hear you cry, not the DSP, don't wreck it. But obviously it's Halloween, so everything's got to be a little bit similar. Doesn't matter that I've ripped it, adds to it. And then I am actually going to just try and smooth it out a little bit. So I just wanted to add some effect, excuse me, some effect to it. And that's simply it. I've just screwed it up. And then I'm going to add some adhesive. So I have my snail here. And I am going to add a fair bit to this just because it is scrunched up and it may be a little harder to adhere, because obviously it'll not lie flat. And then just giving my bag enough room to fold over, and I've really gone with the line of the dots actually across the top. And then I'm just going to stick that down, and obviously it'll stick where it wants to, so there'll be bits that don't, and that's absolutely fine. Next up, I have a strip of a different one of the DSP. This is the spider web, and what I want to do is simply, I've got this a strip that is 10 inches by 2 inches, and I'm just randomly cutting it in half. And then I have my triple banner punch here that I'm just going to pop in one end, and then the other piece, do the same again. And that's that bit done. And then all I need to do really is to pop them on here where I want them. So I want this to come a little shy of the paper, so I'm just going to trim that one down to there, just so that my tails are still touching the side of the bag. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. They will overlap slightly, but I know that I roughly need to cut mine off about there, so that they just overlap just like that. So it's covering some of the DSP there, and then again I'm just going in with my snail and just going to pop this one on, and you can see how easy these bags are coming together. They're not tricky to make up at all. And then, as I say, I'm just going to sort of layer this one over the top slightly, but again I want those tails touching the sides of the bags. It's so much fun, this sweet. I love the Halloween sweets. I always think they're so much fun. I generally don't do anything for Halloween. I do have treats for the children that come and knock on the doors, but generally I don't do trick or treat myself. I decorate my window, which obviously encourages the children to come and trick or treat, but I don't celebrate it per se. But I do love the sweets, and I love how much fun they are, and I love making up these sorts of little treats for the children because they just think they're amazing. So I'm probably going to be fair, I'm probably going to do the coffin boxes this year, because I know that they will just love them. They'll find them amazing. So, and my kids are just too old for it anyway. So now I've got some of the beautiful basic black scalloped edged ribbon, always a mouthful. And as you can see, I'm just generally cutting enough to do that kind of thing with. So I'm just doubling it over, and then I'm just going to pop it on there. So I'm just going to grab some tar and tape, and it is just a case of putting this wherever you want it. So I'm just going to pop some on there because that's where my first side's going to go, and I want it to sort of sit straight across that join, so it'll actually hide the DSP join there. And then I have another piece here that is actually going to sit on this piece of ribbon, and take the backing off this one, and then just really fold it over wherever you want it to go. So the final parts then are my little sentiments and my beautiful ornate frames. These are just delightful. I absolutely love them. I'm hoping that these frames are going to stick around because I think they are going to be fabulous for different occasions, not just for Halloween. So as you can see, so I've used the ornate frame dies, and I stamped this on pumpkin pie in Memento, and this is simply going to be stuck on to one of my frames. So I'm going to pop it on this one, and I don't know if you can see, but when I line it up, this sort of scalloped bit here will sit under that scalloped bit there. So if I show you by popping this on the top and lining it up, so you see how it sits nicely. And so that's that one stuck together. And then these two cute characters just need a little bit of colour for my liking. And I've simply got 3 Stampin' Blends here. I have the Colour Lifter, I have the Ivory marker, blend, and then I have the Light Smoky Slate. That's all I have. So the Light Smoky Slate, I'm using the brush end, and I'm literally just colouring in the background. That's all I want this for, is just to add some colour and shade to the background. And it, as you can see, I've really not been super careful with it. I've just popped it on the background, and I'm going to do exactly the same with the mummy. He's a cute looking and quite a funny looking mummy if you ask me, but I still think it's lovely. And as you can see, these lovely blends mean that you can go either way you wish and they don't show up the colouring marks, which are fabulous. So that's it for my smoky slate. I have told you a little fib because I have used Poppy Parade, and it's the dark Poppy Parade that I used, and I simply used this just to do Dracula's tie bit here, and I just put a tiny dot on his fang because I just thought that would be amusing. And then I used my ivory to give him a bit of colour, and again it is just a quick flash over with it. Don't forget his little hands. But then I used my colour lifter because obviously he's a vampire, so he's meant to be exceptionally pale. So I used my colour lifter just to take off some of the ivory there. And then I again used the ivory just as a very quick wash over my mummy, just because I wanted him to have a bit of colour, because I felt that he, just being white, just didn't look quite right. He needed just a touch of colour, and that's it. That's all I've done with the blends, but they just add a bit of character, I think, and a bit of colour to them, a bit of life. And then these again are just going to go directly onto my frames here. These just remind me of when you see a scary movie and you see those pictures on the stairs of the families, the portraits and things, and these just remind me of them, and it just makes me giggle. I want to watch the eyes follow me across the room. Okay, so for my Dracula here, he is simply going to have some snail on the back, and he's just going to sit in that top corner there, and my mummy is just going to sit at the bottom corner here. Just tuck him under the ribbon, I think. And as you can see, the way I've positioned them also hides the corner of the DSP underneath. And then my little sentiment one is simply going to go over the ribbon and over the centre with some dimensionals. So I'm just going to pop him on there, and obviously he just covers those two corners as well. And then I have the fabulous Monster Bash enamel shapes, and I have the little oh, I can't remember what it's called now, it's completely gone out of my mind. Tombstone, that's the word I was looking for, at the bottom, and then one of these lovely black crows at the top, and then just to finish it off, just a couple of the little enamel dots, just to add some character to the sentiment really, because it looks a bit flat on its own. And then, as I said, we just need to fill it with some goodies. So I'm just going to grab a small handful here out of my bag that I've got. There's a couple more in there. So that's quite full now, stuffed full of sweets. And then I'm literally just going to fold the top over here, and then I'm going to tuck it just under that frame. And as I said, you can close it however you wish. But those are my really cute Monster Bash treat bags. Hope you like them. Hope it's given you some ideas for Halloween, no matter how you celebrate it or not. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.